Welcome to Adu Globe. Discover new ideas, learn exciting things. This video is a fictional military scenario made for educational and entertainment purposes only. It does not promote violence or disrespect any nation. But it leaves us with one question. If such a moment ever came, would the world face war, or find a path to peace? It's the final hours of the night. A faint glow begins to spread across the horizon, and the sky carries a silence so deep it feels almost unnatural, like the world itself is holding its breath. But behind this silence lies a scenario that could shift the balance of global power forever. On one side stands the unmatched stealth of advanced aerial technology. On the other, the unstoppable force of a naval fleet, prepared to respond in seconds. The question is, what happens if these two giants cross paths? This video is not real-world news but a fictional military scenario, designed purely for educational and analytical purposes. Our aim is to explore how modern warfare technology has evolved, and how critical decisions could play out if global tensions were ever to rise. Imagine this. A stealth bomber cuts across the sky, so silent and invisible that even the most sophisticated radar systems struggle to detect it. Meanwhile, far below on the open seas, a naval strike group powers through the waves, recognized worldwide as one of the fastest reacting forces on Earth. But what if the two came dangerously close? Could decisions made in mere seconds decide the fate of millions? In this video, we'll dive deep into how such a scenario might unfold, what strategies could be deployed, how advanced technology might tip the scales, and what it could all mean for the future of global security. Remember, this is only a speculative and educational exploration, but it raises a very real question. If such a moment ever came, would the world step toward peace, or spiral into conflict? To truly understand this scenario, we need to step back and look at the background that makes it both fascinating and possible. The B-2 Spirit stealth bomber, often called America's invisible giant, is more than just an aircraft. It is a symbol of unmatched technology, precision, and national pride. Developed during the Cold War and still kept at the forefront of modern warfare, the B-2 represents decades of American innovation. With its radar-evading design, long-range strike capability, and ability to carry both conventional and nuclear weapons, the aircraft has been at the center of U.S. strategic defense for years. Now imagine the global landscape where new powers are advancing rapidly in military technology. Nations are constantly testing, simulating, and preparing for what-if scenarios. In this atmosphere, a hypothetical situation emerges. What if a surprise strike were attempted against the B-2 at dawn? How would the United States respond? The answer is not only about defense but also about pride, the confidence that America's technological edge, combined with the Navy's rapid response systems, ensures security even in the most critical moments. This is not a prediction of war but rather an exploration of how modern strategy works. By analyzing such scenarios, we uncover how stealth, speed, and naval coordination shape the balance of power. The U.S. military has invested in systems that are designed to react within seconds, ensuring that any threat is countered before it grows. This makes the scenario not just a dramatic story, but also a reflection of why America continues to lead in global defense innovation. In this light, the story becomes more than just a clash of machines. It is about preparedness, resilience, and the assurance that American forces stand ready to protect at any hour, even against the most complex challenges of modern warfare. In the silent battlefield of global power, there came a moment that the world could not ignore. China unveiled its first major display of advanced military technology, an event many analysts labeled as the first strike. It wasn't an actual war, but a signal, a calculated move to show the reach of its rising capabilities. The showcase included demonstrations of hypersonic missile tests, glimpses of space-based technology, and hints of powerful cyber operations. The message was clear: the rules of modern conflict were shifting. No longer was this about tanks and trenches, it was about speed, data, and dominance in technology. But here's where the story becomes even more gripping. When China made this move, global attention didn't just stay on Beijing. It immediately shifted to one country, the United States. And for good reason. America has long stood as not only the strongest military power on Earth, but also as a symbol of technological leadership, global alliances, and a defender of international stability. For U.S. experts, this first strike wasn't just a threat, It was a wake-up call, a reminder to innovate faster, push boundaries, and strengthen systems that already stand unmatched. While other nations might have seen fear, the United States responded with confidence. With the world's most advanced Air Force, the strongest Navy, and unmatched missile defense systems, America reminded its allies and rivals alike that it is not only prepared for the challenges of the future, but determined to shape them. This moment marked a new chapter. On one side, there was a display of rising power. On the other, there was the calm, unshakable confidence of a nation that has led for decades. China's first strike may have stirred curiosity and concern, but the United States once again proved why it is seen as the ultimate shield of the modern world. And the most intriguing part: the battles ahead will not only be fought with weapons, but with innovation, intelligence, and the race for technological supremacy. When global tensions pushed the world onto a new edge, the United States felt a powerful sense of responsibility to defend its land and safeguard its future. In that moment, America's pride was not just about advanced weapons or cutting-edge technology, it was about the spirit of its people and the resilience of its forces. The world was reminded that for the United States, defense is more than a necessity, it is a symbol of unity, courage, and national pride. History has shown time and again that when America is challenged, it rises stronger than before. From moments of great uncertainty to times of innovation and triumph, the U.S. has carried a tradition of determination that inspires not only its citizens but also its allies. This renewed spirit is not about aggression, it is about protection, readiness, and the belief that freedom must always be preserved. As new challenges emerge on the global stage, the United States stands ready, committed to defending its homeland, supporting its allies, and securing a safer tomorrow. The nation's pride shines brightest when tested, proving once again that resilience, unity, and hope are the true cornerstones of America's strength. This is the moment when America's pride awakens, and the world witnesses how a determined nation chooses to rise, protect, and lead with confidence and vision. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine this: from the depths of the ocean, colossal warships rise with unmatched power, while above, the skies thunder with the roar of supersonic jets. In between this clash of sea and air stands a nation built on resilience, strength, and pride, the United States of America. When the U.S. Navy sails into the vast blue waters, it is not merely a fleet of steel and engines. It is a shield, a symbol of protection and determination. And when American fighter jets tear across the skies, their roaring engines carry a message. Every corner of the sky is guarded, every horizon watched with unbreakable vigilance. What makes this conflict so remarkable is that it's not just about raw firepower, it's about intelligence, strategy, and cutting-edge technology. Advanced radar systems, missile defenses, and naval aviation combine to give America an edge that few can even dream of. If the enemy dares to strike from the sea, the fleet is ready. If they come from the skies, the Air Force responds with unmatched precision. This seamless balance of sea and air power creates a shield of dominance that keeps adversaries questioning every move. This war of sky and sea is more than a battle, it is a living story. A story of decades of sacrifice, relentless innovation, and the unshakable will to defend freedom. It is why, when the American flag waves proudly on the mast of a warship or flutters high in the open sky, the world understands, this flag is not just fabric. It is determination, it is sacrifice, it is pride, and no storm, no threat, and no battle can ever silence it. History often reminds us that every great nation faces a moment where its strength, unity, and resolve are tested. For the United States, such moments are not new. But when the decisive moment arrives, a moment that defines the future of generations, America does not hesitate. It stands tall. Picture the battlefield of tomorrow. The skies alive with roaring jets, the seas commanded by massive carriers, and the digital front guarded by the most advanced systems ever created. At the heart of it all beats a single idea: the defense of freedom and the protection of its people. This is where the decisive moment begins, not as an accident of war, but as the result of preparation, sacrifice, and unshakable determination. In this critical hour, strategy matters as much as courage. America's strength is not only in its firepower but in its ability to adapt, innovate, and outthink any challenge. Satellite networks track every movement, submarines move silently beneath the waves, and stealth aircraft patrol the skies, all working in perfect synchronization. When the decisive strike comes, it is swift, precise, and overwhelming, leaving no doubt about who controls the battlefield. Yet, beyond the weapons and the technology lies the spirit of the people. The men and women in uniform, standing at the edge of danger, carry the pride of an entire nation with them. Their courage transforms the moment into history. Their sacrifice ensures that the flag continues to wave, no matter the storm. This decisive moment is not just about victory in battle. It is about the endurance of values that America holds dear: liberty, justice, and resilience. And when the world looks on, watching this moment unfold, it sees more than strength. It sees the unbreakable pride of a nation that has always risen when tested. A nation that turns challenges into triumphs. A nation that proves, time and again, that its destiny is written not by chance, but by choice. As the conflict reached a critical stage, the entire world turned its eyes toward the unfolding events. Nations, leaders, and ordinary citizens alike watched with anticipation, realizing that history was being written in front of them. Global news channels broadcasted every detail, while social media lit up with countless discussions, analyses, and predictions. For many, it was more than just a military standoff. It was a test of determination, strategy, and national pride. Amid the uncertainty, one truth stood out clearly: the United States carried itself with a deep sense of confidence and resilience. Its forces displayed discipline, advanced technology, and an unwavering belief in their mission. For Americans, it was not just about defense, but about showing the world that unity, innovation, and courage can stand firm even in the toughest of moments. People across the globe, whether allies or rivals, could not help but focus on the strength of this moment. While no nation was insulted or diminished, the contrast between silence and action, hesitation and resolve, was undeniable. For the United States, this was a chapter that reminded the world of its enduring spirit, a nation that has faced challenges before and risen stronger every time. The world's eyes were not only on the battlefield but on the values that stood behind the actions. Courage, honor, and pride radiated across oceans and continents, reminding humanity that moments of trial often reveal the true character of a nation. And for the United States, this moment became one of pride, resilience, and unshakable faith in its future. Amid the echoes of war and the rumble of the skies, a moment arrived when the entire world seemed to hold its breath. Each strike met with a counterstrike, yet behind the thunder of explosions came a deeper question: is this only about power, or is it the beginning of a greater story? Revenge has always carried weight in human history, not only as an act of response but as a reflection of pride, emotion, and an uncertain future. For the United States, this was not just about showcasing military strength. It was about proving resilience, strategy, and national pride. Every step carried confidence, every decision held determination. Backed by technology and skill, their hearts burned with the light of loyalty to their homeland. The world watched closely, realizing this was not merely a battle, it was a test of will and vision. Each missile launched, each defense activated, carried a hidden message. On one side was retaliation, but on the other side rose the ultimate question: will this cycle ever end? Will the path of peace be chosen, or will history once again be written in the language of revenge? In those defining moments, America reinforced its identity. An identity not built solely on power, but on principles, unity, and confidence. The world saw that where the thunder of vengeance echoed, the whispers of questions also lingered. And it is these questions that will shape the direction of tomorrow. This video is a fictional military scenario made for educational and entertainment purposes only. It does not promote violence or disrespect any nation. But it leaves us with one question: if such a moment ever came, would the world face war, or find a path to peace?